Someone is deeply in love with you right now, and it happened because of what you did. You need to watch this before it is too late to understand what is going on. This message did not reach you by accident or by some random chance. This is not just a dramatic way to open a video. There is a real reason why you felt something pull you toward these words. There is a reason your mind slowed down just long enough to stop and stay here. Something deep inside you quietly whispered that you needed to hear this. It is because someone very real, someone you know or used to know, is having a very hard time right now. They are struggling, and the reason they are struggling is because of you. Not because you are chasing after them, not because you begged them for time or attention, not because you demanded answers or asked for a commitment. It is because you stopped doing something they always thought you would do. That one quiet change turned their entire world upside down. Please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a video, because each one here has the power to shift the way you see everything. Stay with this, because what comes next is going to surprise you. There was a specific moment in your life when you made a choice to put yourself first. It might not have been a big moment. It was probably not dramatic at all. You did not make a speech. You did not say a long goodbye. You did not send a message explaining everything you felt. It was just a small and quiet shift inside your heart. Silence replaced the space where you used to pour in so much effort. Calm took over the place where so much worry used to live. You stopped explaining yourself over and over. You simply paused. You did not walk away because you were angry. You did not disappear just to make a point. You did not leave to punish them or to teach them a lesson. You simply stopped leaving yourself behind just to keep them comfortable. And the moment you did that, something inside them cracked wide open. Here is the part they never expected. They truly believed you would always be there. They thought you would always be patient, always forgiving, always understanding, and always waiting right there for them. They believed your love was a permanent thing they could always come back to whenever they felt ready. When someone believes your presence is something that will never go away, they stop protecting it. They stop making you a priority. They stop taking care of what the two of you have. They push it aside and act like they can come back to it whenever it is convenient for them. But then something shifted. You stopped reminding them of how much you are worth. You stopped describing your pain hoping they would finally understand. You stopped trying to prove how loyal and devoted you are. You stopped bending over backward just to keep things alive between you two. And that silence became so loud they simply could not ignore it anymore. This is the exact place where a deep and overwhelming pull starts to grow inside someone. Stay with me on this because most people never understand this part. People do not fall deeply in love when they feel like they have total control over you. They fall completely in love the moment they realize they may have already lost you for good. When the familiar warmth of your heart is suddenly gone, when the comfort they quietly relied on disappears, they panic in a way they did not see coming. Right now, whether they say it out loud or not, this person is replaying every single moment in their mind. They think about your laugh. They think about your patience. They remember the way you cared for them without keeping score or counting what each person gave. They think about how you stayed when it would have been so much easier to just leave. They remember how you really saw them, even the parts of themselves they tried to hide from the whole world. The hardest part for them is this simple truth. They did not notice your value while they still had easy access to you. They only noticed what you were worth when your energy stopped reaching out to them. They feel this loss even if they stay completely quiet about it, even if they have not sent you a single message, even if they act like nothing is wrong and everything is fine. They feel the empty space you left. They might post happy pictures. They might act like they are staying busy. But the absence of you is something they feel every single day. You were not just someone who liked them. You were the person who truly saw them for who they really are. And when someone loses the person who really knows them, they do not just miss the relationship, they miss the version of themselves they were when they were being loved by you. This is something that wise thinkers have understood for a very long time. It was once said that the heaviest weight a child carries is the life their parents never lived. In relationships between adults, something very similar happens. People bring the hidden and unhealed parts of themselves into love. When you saw them fully, you touched those quiet, hidden parts of who they are. When you stepped back, those parts had nowhere left to hide, and that is what makes your absence feel so unbearable to them. You did something rare and brave. You did not turn your heart into stone. You did not become cold or mean. You did not go looking for revenge or try to make them jealous. You simply moved back with your pride and your self-respect still fully intact. That kind of quiet dignity is like a magnet. It sends a very clear message without you needing to say a single word. It tells everyone around you that you know exactly who you are, even when others do not see it yet. When someone finally realizes they missed out on a person who knows their own value, it shakes their entire world. Now let us look closely at what is going on inside their head, because this is the part that will explain everything you have been feeling lately. They are questioning themselves over and over again. They do it late at night. They do it in the quiet moments they try to avoid. They wonder why they did not choose you when they had the chance. They wonder why they believed you would just wait around for them forever. Everything feels slightly more empty now. They scroll through their phone and hesitate. They replay old conversations in their mind, word by word. They wonder if you have already moved on. They wonder if it is too late to fix what they broke. They start typing your name and then delete it before sending anything, because reaching out now means facing a truth they have been running from for a long time. You were real, you were exactly what they needed, and they were just not ready for it. It has been said by some of the greatest thinkers in history that until you bring the hidden parts of your mind into the light, they will quietly control your entire life. Your absence has forced their hidden feelings straight to the surface. All the regrets they pushed down, all the realizations they avoided, are rising up now because you are no longer there to distract them from themselves. But here is the part that most people get completely wrong, and you need to hear this. Just because someone is overwhelmingly in love with you does not mean they suddenly know how to love you the right way. Feelings without maturity will still hesitate. Love without healing will still be afraid to stay. Deep emotions without personal growth will still wait too long to act. Feelings on their own are not the same as real and lasting change. That is why this moment is not about you running back to them. It is not about you reaching out to ease their pain. It is about understanding the quiet power you now carry. You showed them what love looks like without forcing it. You showed them what it means to be consistent without trying to control anyone. And now, without you doing a single thing, they have to feel the full weight of your absence. That weight is crushing. It is heavier than any fight. It is heavier than any goodbye. Silence makes people think. Distance makes things incredibly clear. Words can never do the work that space does. You told them what truly mattered through the way you showed up, and now they finally understand what they had because it is gone. But listen to this warning carefully because it matters more than anything else in this video. If you rush back right now, if you break the silence too soon just to rescue them from their uncomfortable feelings, they will never grow. This distance is doing the work that you could never do with any amount of words or conversations. This space is teaching them the lessons that your love already tried to teach them, and they refuse to learn. Deep down, you already know this is not about punishing them. It is about things finally finding their right place. The right person does not only notice your value after you are gone. The right person chooses you while you are still standing right in front of them. They do not need the fear of losing you to understand what you are worth. They value you because they see you clearly, every single day, without needing a warning. So why did this message find you today? It is because you have a soft heart. And people with soft hearts sometimes confuse love with responsibility for someone else's feelings. You can feel their energy even from a distance. You can sense their regret. You might even dream about them in the quiet of the night. But none of that means you are supposed to go back to how things were before. It means the bond you shared was real and deep. But not every real bond is meant to last forever. Some bonds are meant to reach their end once the lesson inside them has been fully learned. It has been said that what you fight against will only grow stronger. They fought against growing while you were there beside them. Now that you are not there to soften the pain, they have no choice but to grow. If they do come back, let them come back as a genuinely different person, not just because they are lonely or afraid of losing you permanently, but because they are truly ready to choose you and show up fully every single day. Anything less than that is just the same old, painful cycle repeating itself in a slightly different form. If they do not come back, understand this clearly. You were never hard to love. They were simply not prepared for someone like you. Someone who matches your depth, your growth, and your timing will find you. And when they do, there will be no confusion, no guessing, and no waiting. It will feel easy and clear from the very beginning. The reason someone is so deeply focused on you right now is not because you chased them. It is because you stopped chasing. You stopped running after someone who would not stand still for you. And in doing that, you remembered who you are. That is a quiet and completely unshakable kind of power. Do not give it away. If this is speaking to your heart right now, stay with me, because there is still more you need to hear. When you moved back from them, you did more than just remove yourself from their daily life. You took away the mirror you were holding up for them every single day. Your attention made them feel important. Your patience made them feel safe. When both of those things disappeared, they did not just lose you. They lost the sense of balance and stability they did not even know they had been borrowing from you. This is why their reaction right now is more emotional than logical. At first, they told themselves comforting stories. They said you were just busy. They told themselves you needed a little space and would come back soon. They tried to distract themselves with work and friends and anything that would keep their mind occupied. But distraction only works for surface-level things. What the two of you shared was deep, and deep roots do not just vanish because you stop looking at them. Then the confusion moved in. They noticed the silence in small, quiet moments, right before they fall asleep at night. Your absence began to echo in the stillness. They started wondering why no other person made them feel the way you did. They started comparing everyone around them to you without even trying to do it. They were not just missing you as a person. They were missing the way being around you made them feel calm and grounded inside. You were an anchor for them without either of you fully realizing it. When you left, their whole world felt unstable in a way they could not explain to anyone around them. That feeling of instability is what starts to feel like an obsession to them. They replay your old conversations because they are searching for the moment things went wrong. They want to find the exact place where they lost their grip on things. They slowly realize that you did not leave because you stopped caring about them. You left because you finally started caring about yourself, and that specific truth stings their ego in a deep and lasting way. If you had walked out screaming and crying, they could have told themselves it was just your emotions getting the better of you. But you left quietly, calmly, and with complete self-respect. That proves something they cannot argue with. It proves you do not need them to survive. Nothing unsettles someone more than watching the person they took for granted be completely fine without them. This is where they start trying to find small ways to test the connection. They might send something small and casual just to see how you respond. And this is exactly where you must stay completely grounded in yourself. If you respond too quickly or too warmly, you show them that they can still have easy access to your heart without changing anything about themselves. But when you stay calm and rooted in who you are, they have to sit alone with themselves. And most people absolutely hate doing that. When someone is forced to sit with themselves, they begin to see their own patterns for the first time. They begin to see the ways they pushed away good things without understanding why. These are not pleasant thoughts, they are hard and uncomfortable truths. This is why the energy between you feels so unusually intense right now. You might be having sudden flashes of memory involving them. That happens because a deep, real connection creates a strong reaction when it breaks. But processing a loss does not always mean you are supposed to go back to what caused that loss. It means you are in the process of becoming someone who chooses their own dignity above everything else. You are learning something that most people never fully learn. You cannot carry someone else's growth for them, no matter how much you love them and no matter how much you want to. This space around you right now is quiet and honest, and honesty is where real and permanent change happens. You did not use tricks or games to make them feel this way. You simply stopped pouring your heart into something that was not holding any of it. Now they can feel that emptiness. They are finally realizing that your love was never a limitless supply they could draw from forever. You are becoming something rare in this process. You are becoming stronger and softer at exactly the same time. Stronger because you are no longer running after anyone. Softer because you no longer need to shield yourself from the sting of being overlooked. Even if they never come back, this change in you is real and it is permanent. You will never again make yourself smaller just to fit into someone else's life. You will naturally attract people who see your worth from the very first moment they meet you. So stay exactly where you are. Stay present in your own life. Do not let your mind get pulled into worrying about what happens next with them. There is a great deal happening beneath the surface that you cannot see yet, and it is all working in your favor. When you stopped reaching out to them, you created space inside yourself where anxiety used to live. That space feels strange and unfamiliar at first because you are so used to the constant noise of worrying about them. But that quiet is not emptiness. It is alignment. It means you are finally becoming who you were always meant to be. Your mind might still drift toward thoughts of them out of old habit, but you are no longer betraying yourself by staying in something that was making you disappear. For the first time, whatever connection still exists between you is rooted in truth rather than just your one-sided effort. And truth is always stronger than effort. Silence is not weakness. Silence is a powerful and deliberate choice that speaks louder than any words you could ever say. You are no longer doing the emotional heavy lifting for someone who never appreciated the weight you were carrying. You are no longer sitting and waiting for someone to finally tell you that you are enough. And that change inside you is something they can feel even from a distance. They are realizing now that they were resting inside your love without ever being aware of it. And now that rest is completely gone. They are lying awake replaying all the things they should have done differently. These thoughts keep returning to them because they no longer have open access to you. They miss the version of themselves that existed when they were with you. You were woven into their daily life in a natural and quiet way. And now that you are gone, everything around them feels uncertain and slow. Time moves differently for them right now. For you, things are getting clearer day by day. You may still have moments where you question yourself and wonder if you were too hard on them. In those moments, ask yourself one honest question. Did you leave to hurt them, or did you leave to save yourself? You left because staying was making you smaller and smaller, And love, real love, should never make you smaller. You stepped back from a situation where your care was being used up without being returned. That is not failure, that is wisdom. By choosing yourself, you showed them without any words that the door does not stay open forever when someone is being treated poorly. If they have the ability to grow, they will do it now. This is the moment for it. If they cannot grow, then you are protected from spending any more of your life inside something that was slowly draining you. Winning does not always feel loud or celebratory. Sometimes it feels quiet and slightly lonely. That feeling is just grief for the future you once imagined you would have with them. Do not let that sadness rewrite the truth for you. You gave everything you had. You loved deeply and fully, and you had the strength to stop when it was time to stop. Boundaries are not walls built to hurt people. They are the clearest signal of who genuinely cares and who was only there for what they could take. You are not responsible for how someone else handles the results of their own choices. That belongs entirely to them. This is the moment where your body and your mind begin to learn together that love does not have to be full of anxiety and worry to be real. Once you learn that, you will carry it with you forever. Even if they come back, you will not slip back into the old way of doing things. You cannot unsee what you have now seen about yourself and about them. You are standing between who you used to be and who you are becoming. And this space in between is doing something powerful for you even when it does not feel that way. Everything is finally settling into its right place. You no longer feel that desperate need to figure out what they are feeling or thinking. You are not looking for signs or analyzing their every move anymore. You carry a deep, quiet sense of knowing that does not need outside proof to feel real. You have accepted the truth of what happened. The connection between you was real, and it changed you in ways that matter. But it reached its limit because you were both not in the same place at the same time. That acceptance is what sets you free. They can feel that you are no longer frozen and waiting. You are moving forward. They realize you did not leave to send a message, but a message was sent anyway. Now it is entirely their job to decide what to do with it. It was once said that a person is not defined by what happened to them, but by what they choose to become because of it. This is one of the most important moments in both of your lives, whether either of you fully sees it yet. They may stay exactly the same, or they may finally choose to grow. But their choice no longer controls the direction of your life. You are not defined by how they see you. You are defined by how you see yourself. You are choosing your own peace now. You are asking whether a love is truly worthy of you instead of asking whether you are worthy enough for it. You have stopped covering for people who give nothing back. You have stopped believing that something has to hurt and be difficult to be deep and meaningful. You are finally at peace with where you are and who you are. Someone is deeply in love with you right now. It happened because of your choices, not because you chased them, because you stopped, because you remembered your own power, because you chose yourself when no one else was going to do it for you. That is a quiet, unshakable, and permanent kind of strength. Hold on to it. Never give it away.